Hey guys, welcome to a very special first ever outdoor episode of Off the Decks podcast.
So cool.
We have Aiona Santana there, that's correct?
Yes.
Saying that correct?
Yes, it was perfect.
I'm always paranoid. I'm like, I'm so, coming from Thunder Bay, like, I'm not used to the Latin community, so I'm like, I need pronunciation. I'm always like paranoid, but.
No, you did great. And I love that you also just like went for it.
But yeah, missing majority of the crew today. My first ever solo podcast, so this is also new for me too. So I'm like, damn. Most of the time I have the crew, but we'll see how today goes. But yeah, thank you for coming on. I know we talked a little bit before about us just kind of meeting at Hide and Seek before, but that's really what most of our podcast kind of talks about is the nightlife community, and that's how we met. So once again, like I've talked about a million times on this show, is Ottawa, everyone knows each other and you somehow meet everybody. So it's nice that you're one of the million people I've already met that we're able to, okay, here's a networking connection and let's kind of just work together.
No, it's crazy. And I'm really grateful that you invited me to be on this podcast. I never get to do this in Ottawa, actually.
I was about to say, do you ever do stuff in Ottawa? Because we talked a little bit before the podcast, but you did a media tour. Mm-hmm. Do you ever do anything in Ottawa much?
I do. There's like a couple of radio stations that usually will invite me if I have like a release, and it's always like the go-to ones that play Latin music, and I'll be on those. But I've done a couple of like media stuff around here in Ottawa, but not that much. Honestly, like a lot. I feel like since the pandemic, a lot more things went virtual.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was doing a lot of interviews virtually and stuff. But I don't know. This I feel like has gotten a bit lost in Ottawa. Like I don't see it.
Yeah, and that's one thing too. Like I mention all the time. Like I produce for Down on the Wire, and there's other than us, I was like, okay, who's our, I want to say competitors, but like who else is there podcasting and do the stuff that we're kind of doing right now? It's like there's not that much that's going on. So that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast, was like, okay, let's actually start going ahead and just kind of highlighting the individuals like yourself that kind of shine a spotlight within the city. So it's nice that we're kind of starting to get that culture. But what else have you done?
I appreciate it. Of like media?
Yeah, within Ottawa, yeah.
Mostly, honestly, radio. I've done some like press, like printed media. And I would say that's probably it. I haven't done any TV in Ottawa. This is my first podcast.
In Ottawa?
And yeah.
Interesting.
Like I did a podcast with someone else from Ottawa, but it was virtual again. So this is like my first, I don't know, like in-person kind of experience. And also a lot of the interviews I do are in Spanish. So
yes, that was my next question is just like, because that's one thing I wanted to like kind of pick your brain about more than anything today is like, the community, like the Latin community, is that proper term, Latin community within?
It's perfect, yeah. Los
Latinos.
Latinos.
Latinos. That community within Ottawa. So I work at Hide and Seek. We're at the nightclub. We have their Latin nights. I don't know where the Latin community comes from. I swear everyone shows up. What is the Latin community in Ottawa? Like, what's it to you, or what is it as a whole? Like, because I feel like it's such a scene that I'm just not tapped into. Like, what's it to you? Because you're involved in it. Is there a big scene within the Latin community?
Best example I can give you is one time, one of my friends that I met in Toronto, but he's from Ottawa. We had become friends in Toronto, and we were both in Ottawa, and I was like, hey, come out with my friends. We're going to take you out, show you like our Ottawa in a sense. Took him to all these Latin spots that he had no clue about, because all like he ever goes to is like Elegant or whatever, and he was like, oh my God, like I've lived here my whole life. I was born and grew up here, and I never knew this side of Ottawa. And it's because I feel like the Latin community, it used to be much smaller. There was a lot more Latinos in like the Gatineau side. And a lot more like Latin nights, they would only happen in Gatineau. And then over the last, like, I don't know, like maybe 7 years, it's just gotten so big. And like we have a Latin festival, we have way more like restaurants. People in general, also like Canadian people are just more well versed in like Latin food. Like they know arepas, or like, I don't know, there's just a little bit more culture present, or like Latinos Latin presence in Ottawa. So it's cool to see. But I will say it is a big community. It's a very tight community though. Like most Latinos in Ottawa, I feel like we know each other, or we know of each other. So it's not as big as like the Toronto or Montreal community, but it is a very like, it is a very present community, because we do a lot, and like we're present everywhere.
That's the thing too, where it's just like, I feel like it's such a tight-knit community for you guys, but like someone that like myself wouldn't know as much. But outside of that community, like, are you very tapped into like the Ottawa music scene as itself? Because that's the thing is like, is there any other Latin artists within the city that are kind of on the level that you are, or like even just trying to make a name for themselves? Because that's the thing is like, I feel like you're such a like your following is great, and that's one of those things where it's like, damn, like
Thank
you do have those people, but it's like, who else is kind of, even if you want to shout them out, of like anyone that's kind of doing their thing, because that's one thing at the end of the day we want to do with this podcast is highlight people. Is there anyone else that you know of that is kind of making their mark in Ottawa at the moment?
Yeah, I'll give a big shout out to Danry. He's a Colombian artist. He's from Ottawa as well. I think he's living in Colombia now. He's based out of there, but he's working really hard in his music, like dropping so much music and just killing it. So, and he is from here too. So there are, I would say, a lot of Latinos. Even like, I'll give a shout out to Tiags, that's also from Ottawa, and he's Venezuelan, also killing it on a global scale. So there is a lot of talent in Ottawa. I will say that. There is a lot of Latinos in Ottawa too that are trying to kind of like branch out and get to the next step in their career. I can see it. I feel like I've just been very, I don't know, Ottawa is my place where I just grind. Yeah. So I've been very in like the grinding mode and like doing shows whenever I get booked for a show like the one in Hide and Seek. But I haven't honestly like done a lot of socializing anymore in Ottawa. Like when I'm in Ottawa, I'm just working.
You're working, yeah. Like, you're busy with your music and stuff, but like at the end of the day, like what is your kind of end goal with all this? Do you want to get to like that next level? Like you've been busy, like you post all the time, like your social media game is crazy, which people don't understand is a lot of work. Like
I feel like I'm lacking.
Overall, like what is, actually I also kind of want to know, like just on a personal level, like where did you start with all this? Like, and do you still enjoy, like it seems like you've been doing it for years. Like where did this all start? I know that you did go to music school. Was it Carleton? Yes. But what kind of led up to us sitting here today? Like what have you been doing for the past, let's say 5-10 years that led up to this very moment? I love
this question. Honestly, I will say Ottawa has been a big part of my growth. As an artist, I always wanted to be a singer ever since I was a little girl. I moved here to Canada in 2012 and just kept making music, started doing, well, since I was little, I was in like dance classes, singing classes, everything. But when I came to Ottawa, my mom and I found out about this Venezuelan dance group. And they dance like Venezuelan folklore. And it's very like, it's more like traditional kind of dance styles. And so when I started dancing with them, I don't know if you're familiar with like, just in general, like folklore dance groups, but they're a big community. And there's like intense, so many festivals. I would imagine. Yeah, and there's like, for example, here, we have the Tulip Festival behind us. We have like Greek festival, Italian fest, like there are so many Lebanese festival, so many festivals. So when I was part of this Venezuelan dance group, we would perform at all the community events. So I would perform at City Hall, dancing at whatever, on Parliament Hill, like all kinds of just community events, cultural events that could be from any type of culture. And we would always dance because they would invite like different cultural dance groups. And then the director of the group was like, well, he knew I loved to sing, and he would always be like, can we throw in Aiona to sing a couple of songs, and like ask the like owners of the events. So I sang in front of all sorts of audiences of all cultures, Spanish speaking and non-Spanish speaking people, old people, young people, kids, everything. So I feel like during that time, I was maybe like 16 here in Ottawa, performing everywhere. I just learned to perform in front of any audience. So I really learned not to give a fuck anymore. And that's when I'm on stage. And
also, doing at that age, did you feel like did you get hate like growing up, like especially at like 16, where I was like, there's always going to be like those school bullies or this and that, like, or you're like, damn, like maybe I shouldn't, like, did you ever even have that moment where like I shouldn't be doing this, or I was like, I want to stop, like, ma, like they're making fun of me? Because I feel like doing this at the moment, I talk about it way too much, but in Thunder Bay, like I never want to do stuff like that, because sitting here with you, I would have got made fun of so much, like I feel. So it's one of those things where like coming to Ottawa is like, people are walking by, like they don't even care that we're doing this right now. So did you ever feel that pressure, or is this like, I don't want to do this, I don't like this anymore? Like you're still doing it today, but did you ever have those moments where you're like, screw this, I want to quit?
Yes, I think we all kind of get doubts, but I've always wanted to just do this. So it makes me so happy. And then whenever I have a moment, in those moments of doubts where I start to sing or I do a show or something, it just reminds me again of why I love it so much and like why none of that matters. But yeah, when I was in high school, like another part of me is also I would post videos on YouTube and like covers on YouTube, and have my friends be in like the music videos and stuff that I would make for them, and like I would edit them myself and like post them.
So you grinded for years and years now.
Yeah, and people at school, I remember I did a cover of the song Stone Cold by Demi Lovato. And so many people made fun of me in high school. I had no idea. And they were just like, because the song is like very stone cold, you know, it's powerful. And they would just make fun of me. And I didn't even realize, but I was so happy. And
so you don't care at all, like,
I
even to
care.
this, yeah.
I think to this day, now as you get older, for some reason, you start to care a little bit more sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I really just loved what I did. And now I feel like I just learned to brush off those feelings if I'm ever like, oh, what are people going to say? I mean, I've already exposed myself so much. I'm constantly
I feel like you're a little bit too far
like,
where like, okay, I've done enough, or it's like there's no going back anymore.
Yeah, I feel like you get to a certain point where you're like, you know what, who cares?
So you're pretty like well versed now. Like you spent some good amount of years here. Like your family's from here.
Yeah.
What's your overall perspective of Ottawa within the culture, within the music scene? Just Ottawa, like, do you like Ottawa? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Because some people are very opinionated. Some people love it, they hate it. Like, what's your thoughts on Ottawa?
I mean, listen, I've lived in Toronto. I've lived in Ottawa. I personally love Ottawa.
Okay,
I
love
will
to hear
say,
it.
yeah, I love the city. I think it's a beautiful city. In the summer, I think it's like one of the most perfect cities ever. It's stunning. Yes, I get people saying all the time, like, Ottawa's so boring.
Yeah, that's
especially
all the time.
When you get to Toronto, you're like, yeah, I'm from Ottawa. Oh, you're from Ottawa. Like, that doesn't fit with your aesthetic. Like, you're an artist. Like, what do you mean? And I just tell them, like, honestly, Ottawa, like I was saying before, it's where I grind. Like, I have a producer here. I have my studio. Like, I just grind here. I don't have just any distractions. In Toronto, it's great. I love it. And I love Montreal as well. But there is all the time, like, something to do, something fun, somewhere to go with your friends, some money to spend. And
you just got to look for it a little bit. Like, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And you are there, like, you know, surrounded by so many industry people and, like, great opportunities that you can take advantage of. But at the same time, like, you can do that here, especially for someone like me. In my case, I'll talk for me personally. Like, I'm a Latin music artist. Yes, I sing in English too. I write in English as well. But my music now has got to a point where, like, I just need to travel around the world, around cities, do as much as I can outside of Canada as well, because I have seen in Canada there is some barriers as an artist. So that became like a priority for me. Instead of moving to Toronto or moving to Montreal, I was like, no, I actually want to travel more.
Yeah.
And so it makes more sense to be in a stable city like Ottawa, where I just hibernate in the winter and grind, and then travel.
Especially in the wintertime, it's a good way to grind. Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing we talk about lots on the show is, like, Ottawa has their opportunities, but it's also a place where, like, if you need to network, if you need to do a recording studio, like, there is opportunities here.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, I understand, like, that home sense of, you're on, like, that home court advantage where you're like, hey, let me grind a little bit. But
yeah,
do you feel like it's one of those things, say you blow up, like, freaking you're touring all over the world, like, are you going to be one of those people, like, rep Ottawa hard? I feel like you're going to be at one of those days where it's just like, honestly, yeah, that's great to see, because some people, they grow up a little bit, and then next thing you know, they're like, no, like, they start repping Toronto. I'm like, oh, you're not from Toronto.
No.
Like,
you're from Mississauga.
No, 100%.
No, honestly, I love Toronto. I love Ottawa. I love Canada in general, but I am going to rep Ottawa because it is a city that saw me grow up. I feel like I studied here at university. I, again, started here with all these community events, which is me. That was literally me just looking for opportunities on, like, where can I sing on a stage? And you'd be surprised, exactly what you were saying, like, how so many people were like, you know what, let's get this girl on the stage. And, like, more people wanted to collaborate. Photo shoots started coming out because photographers started seeing me. I just think there is that hunger here. It's just you need to really look for it, and you need to make it happen. So, yeah, I'm going to rep Ottawa because I also think there's a lot of talent here.
Yes.
Like, we can talk about some of the amazing artists that are coming out of here. Like, we have Jamie Fine. We have Casey. Like, there's so many artists.
See, that's crazy. Like, those two names that you just dropped, like, I feel like I'm, especially with the show, very tapped into, like, the scene, but it's like, that's another two names that I don't know. And it's just like, I could drop 10 different names that you won't know as well. Like, there is so much artists here. Like, one of us are going to blow. I always say, like, it might be all of us, it might just be one of us, but, like, with this amount of volume of people, like, there's going to be one day that somebody does kind of get out of the city and, like, they blow up. But that's the good part about Ottawa. But, like, of course they have their bad. Like, what is something in Ottawa that, like, bothers you, like, that you would want to change within the city? Where it's like, whether it be music, whether it be just culture in the city, is there something where, like, hey, if I could wave my magic wand, fix this in the city? Like, you saying this is your first podcast, that, like, something that you would kind of want to change? Or is it like you kind of like it being more key? But what is, like, something that you would want to?
I think I would want to see more opportunities for, like, interviews, even on TV for artists. Like, I did a media tour in Panama, in Mexico, and literally, like, you set up 10 interviews in a week that you just go to the stations and they're constantly looking for like people that they can bring in and interview and you know, do media coverage on. That is something I would love to see. I would love to see more like opportunities for artists to perform, paid performances, where they get exposure and where the city is also supporting them. Like the city of Ottawa in general also has grants for artists. So it's like there's not enough, I feel like, education on those resources for artists from the city of Ottawa. So like that's another thing that I would love to see more of. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of things about Ottawa that aren't out that people don't know that exist, or like venues you can perform at, or like book a show at, or do something at. So I just wish that scene was, I guess, a little bit bigger or more present. But I will say, like, us here in Ottawa, we try to do as much as we can.
And I feel like especially in the past, we kind of talk about on the show too, like it being a new generation. I feel like the generation in the past, like I'd say ever since COVID too, is kind of like a new era within the city where we're like, hey, let's kind of like, we're both young. Like I'm 25. Like I feel like the past 3 years, even since moving to Ottawa, since the age of 22, like I've kind of seen a slight change. Just like, hey,
what do you feel like is the biggest thing that has changed?
I feel like just the overall the confidence within the city of just like we have a little bit of swagger, whereas like before I feel like we didn't as much. We're still begging for like any type of like, please no, we're trying to grow, whereas like now it's just cool. Like we're actually cool, where it's just like we said, so many names are like, yeah, we are cool, like we kind of have a little bit more to show than before. But I feel like 10 years from now, like it's going to be a thing that we look back on today and be like, damn, like we were just starting. So now it's like, I feel like once that first person really blows up, like we've had artists like Night Lavelle, them get bigger, Bellies come out of Ottawa, but like just the variety of people, like I feel like one day it's going to get much bigger. Be
a lot more. Yeah, and also like an advantage of being in Ottawa that's huge for me, because I have to be in Montreal and Toronto constantly, is like we're in the middle.
Yes, 100%.
Drive to Montreal.
It's 2 hours. It's literally like sometimes you get stuck in traffic in Canada, and then it's an hour drive home, you know? Like it's drive the extra little hours.
And Toronto is, honestly, I've done it in 4 hours and 10 minutes. Like you can do it.
It's possible.
You can do it there and back in a day. I mean, I don't recommend it, but we're honestly not that far. No. And when I was living in Toronto too, I would see a lot of artists in Toronto that I worked with and songwriters that had never been to Montreal, or that saw going to Montreal as like this huge thing, like, oh wow, like we're going so far. And for me, I was like, oh my God, like I go there all the time because it's so close to Ottawa. So that's an advantage I feel like we should play into. Like we're in the middle. We can get people to come from Toronto.
100%. Is that like come here? We don't have to go there. Just like come for individuals or like yourself. But what's kind of one thing that you do want to do with your career? Because you've been grinding for years now, but like where do you want to take it one day? Like what is like the end goal? Is it like just build your mom a house? Is it like just make that one person happy? Like what is one thing where like you look back in your career, like all said and done, like you're sitting in the nursing home where it's like you'll be happy that you did? Like what is that one thing?
I love this question. Well, I just actually... Funny enough, I just got my first publishing deal.
Okay, beautiful.
I just signed a couple of weeks ago, so I'm really excited. I'm officially like a signed songwriter,
awesome.
Which is really, really cool.
Can you say who you signed with?
Yeah, Anthem Entertainment Group.
Awesome.
Their headquarters is in Toronto, but they have an office in Nashville and LA, and I believe in London and New York as well. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's gonna, I feel like, take my career as a songwriter to the next level, and as an artist, I think too. And yeah, for people to believe in me, it's like one of the first yeses I've, like, you know, a real yes that I've gotten. So I'm really, really excited. But I think I just want to be able to make money and live off of singing and writing. And I think that's not even like that much of an ask.
It's not that big of an ask at the end of the day. It's just like and if that's the thing where it's like to do what you love and get paid for it, like that's like what more could you want from life?
Exactly. And like if you see artists in the US, for example, they can literally tour the US.
Yeah.
Never leave the US and make a living
100%.
out of that. In Canada, it's much harder. And I'm not just talking Ottawa. Like Canada, you can't tour just Canada and make a living off of that for the rest of your life. Like you have to go to the US. You have to go outside. It's so much harder. So those are the kinds of opportunities that like we as Canadian artists, I feel like deserve, and that we need to be able to say like Canada is a hub for music and for the entertainment industry. Because even in general, Canada is like still a little bit...
They just a little, 100%. As big as we've been trying to get it, I feel like at the end of the day, it's like we're just still not there. Like we still have to catch up.
Yeah.
But Yeah, you've been grinding. Like, you just got the record. Is that, what would you call
it's
it?
A pub deal.
Pub deal.
Publishing
Okay,
deal.
publishing
Yeah.
deal. For someone that doesn't understand, what is a publishing deal? Like, because that's the thing is, it's like, I feel like you've been at this for so long. Like, there's levels to like, what's a publishing deal? Or like, there might be someone watching this that might want to have a music career one day. Like, what is a publishing deal in comparison to like a record deal? Like, what's the difference between?
So a record deal is for like an artist. A publishing deal is for songwriters, composers specifically. So they basically, it depends on what kind of deal you get. There's different types of deals within a publishing deal as well. If I explain the whole thing, it'll take me forever. Yeah. But basically, publishers, they represent you as a songwriter. So what that means is that they will manage your royalties, kind of keep all that organized for you, pay you obviously your royalties and your splits. They'll put you in the right rooms with the right writers, producers to collaborate on songs, pitch your songs that you write to other artists so that you can also essentially sell your songs or, you know, get a big artist on one of your songs.
Yeah, interesting.
And with that, also introduce you to the right people so that you can get your music out there. And not talking your music as an artist, but your music as, you know, a songwriter.
Yeah.
And then they'll also pitch your music to movies, TV shows, and all that.
So this is a big deal.
It's massive. It's honestly, I still can't believe it. I'm really excited. But essentially, like, what this entails, to give you an example, is that one of the songs I write, that even if I sing it as an artist, or let's just say I write a song, that song could end up being sung by, I don't know, like, let's think big. Give me a name.
For like music artists?
Yeah.
Can we say Bad Bunny? Can we go with that?
Let's say Bad Bunny. Oh my God, that would be a dream come true.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. But that could be, you know, that could be a possibility now. That's much more attainable now. And then if Bad Bunny, let's say, let's a movie on Netflix or Prime Video or something use that song, then I would make my royalties and as a songwriter as well, because that's my song technically. So
that's the thing. There's so many ins and outs within the music industry. Like, it's not just, hey, I hope I like blow up one day. It's like there's levels to getting to that point. Like, you have to sign this, get to this level, this and that. But it's a weird question. How tired are you? Like, I've been only doing this for the past, like, I don't know, I say really grinding, not even like 6 months, but like, you're still a human. Like, you're still Aiona at the end of the day, where it's just like, girl, you're still, to some people, you're like Aiona Santana, but it's just like, to me, who doesn't know you as well, I'm like, bro, you're Aiona. Like, how tired are you by like doing this? Because it takes a lot of work.
Honestly, how tired are you from doing this?
Working the 9 to 5, you know, if this podcast, hopefully, if anyone's watching, help me stop the 9 to 5. Both of us, you know, get us some money one day, but, you know, I'm very tired, to say the least. But I know that doing stuff like this, where it's like, I just finished up today, I came to film this podcast, which I love to do, but after this I have to go edit other stuff. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I know it is part of the grind. And I think about artists like Drake or like Bad Bunny. It's like they all did this one day, where it's just like, it's not gonna, especially, you know, it's like this, you wouldn't have got your deal if you weren't grinding every single day like you have been. Even if it's like some days are rest days, but like, bro, there's still, I'm guessing there's emails you had to check. Like, there's,
and you have to, like, if you want to build something long lasting and like long term, then you have to invest
100%.
all this time and everything. And I think that's what I'm trying to do. It's like, you invest all this time to become an overnight success, essentially.
Yeah.
And for that to then last and, you know, be long and for the rest of your life. But yeah, honestly, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. I was about to say, I was like, you still have high energy, but I'm looking at you and I'm like, I know how much work she has been doing for the past, I'd say, decade, just to get to this moment right now, where it's just like, people don't see that side of it.
They don't. And right now I was telling you before, I have a show in a week and a half that is one of the biggest shows in my career. And so preparing all the logistics and everything for that, at the same time I have music releases. And I actually, I used to work a 9 to 5 and do the music thing on the side as well. Not on the side, it was still like a priority, but I was doing it at the same time. So I was just like you, like would finish work. So from 9 to 5, I was an office worker working in marketing at a corporation. From 5 to midnight, 2 a.m., I don't know, I was a singer performing and doing everything. So people literally at work called me Hannah Montana because they were like, what the heck?
Living the double life. And that's the thing where like,
it was a lot.
I like my 9 to 5, I go by Daniel. And then there's some people that I see like working at the gym, and then they'll know me in the nightlife. They're like, what do you go by? Because like recently I just started, because I need to start separating the two like a little bit, because I was like, hey, I also want to make myself from my like
it becomes too much.
100%.
You
it just becomes
losing yourself.
And that's another thing too. Have you ever like had a moment where you're like, I'm losing myself, where it's like, not sell your soul to the industry, but you're like, damn, this isn't me. Like, even just anybody watching, like, do you ever have those moments where like this isn't me, or like you've had to turn down stuff like this isn't who I am?
I think, well, so when I was working this 9 to 5, honestly, there were moments I did feel like I was losing myself because I was giving a lot of priority to this job, because it obviously was paying the bills, but music was my passion and where I felt most myself, and I felt like I was letting that part of myself down because I wasn't believing in myself. I wasn't saying like, Aiona, leave the 9 to 5, go work in music.
It's hard because like it's your bank account's got it, you know.
It's the worst drug, that paycheck. 100%. And so I would look at my career and then say, but Aiona, how do you expect other people to believe in your music career if you're not putting your 100%? So when I stopped working a 9 to 5 and decided to just go full force in music, which is what I do now.
And when did you make that decision?
That was like 8 months ago.
Okay, so this is still recent.
It's like, very recent.
How hard was that decision? Like, I'm picturing myself like just lying in bed, and like I figured you would do the same. Like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah,
like,
it was hard because at the same time I could have just been like, no, I'll continue working other places and maybe I'll find a part-time job. But I was like, no, I need to just make my income for music. And I took a leap of faith and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna work in music.
Yeah.
Started doing that, and then I went on this media tour. I went to Mexico. I went to Venezuela to write music with my producers there. I went to Panama to do another media tour. All my savings, all my money, I was like, it's going towards this. And then what came out of that Mexico trip, funny enough, in Mexico is where I coincidentally coincided with the person who signed me to this publishing deal.
Okay, so it's like,
and if I hadn't done all of that and made that sacrifice, he wouldn't have seen my grind and wouldn't have been like, oh my God, we want to sign you. So it took me believing in myself for someone else to believe in me too.
And even just taking that risk, like that's a huge risk. Be like, even just spend like this camera that we're filming with right now. It's like I was debating so hard just buying it, and I'm like, okay, let's just take the risk. And it's like there's so many little risks that you kind of just have to take to be an artist, which is
you're showing the universe like, I believe in me. I believe in this project. I believe in, and it will be rewarded. You just have to really go for it, and you do have to grind. Like you can't just be like, oh, I choose myself. I'm not gonna work 9 to 5 and then just lay in bed all day. And
100%. I feel like that's like the switch that I'm sorry to anyone at work that listens to me. Like I do complain at times that I'm like tired. I just did this and this, but it's just like, man, it is a lot of hours that you have to put in, and like that's the grind. It was just like Drake didn't become Drake by sitting in bed, you know, like literally they talk about in their music. It's just like, hey, there's a formula where it's like, this might take me 20 years to get, I might be 50 years old and this podcast finally works out, or any of my video work, but it's just like, hey,
it is gonna work out.
Day in and day out like that. Same thing with yourself. Like it's something you have to do it.
And it doesn't stop. Like honestly, now it's been really great and everything with this deal and the music and the shows I have, but every day, like I'm just like open to collaborating, and I have this mindset where I'm like, I just want to support projects I believe in and work on projects I believe in. So when you messaged me too, I was like, oh my God, 100%, because I never get the chance to rep Ottawa. I never get the chance to do this. I was like, this is so great to show up for my city in a way and like get to connect with you.
For sure.
And just, like have this amazing interview on such a beautiful day during the Tulip Festival. I was like, yes, 100%, let's do it, because you also have to have that mindset, I think, to just be open to collaborating, working with others,
100%.
learning from others.
And take the risk to ask. Like there's been people like all the time at the gym, like they'll see me like filming or this and that, and they'll be like, oh, I want to start filming myself one day. And I'm like, dude, just do it. Like as hard as it is, like just do it. Like that's the hardest
what do you tell
step.
Those people? Just start?
I tell them like, they're like, I just don't have the right equipment. I'm like, well, you have a phone. Like record yourself. I was like, that's the thing. If I told you, like, I don't know, I was like, film yourself every day with your phone. Like, be like, no, I don't want to. I don't have the right equipment. It's just like, bro, it might be some terrible video that was not good quality. That's the one that makes you blow up. Like you never know, but it's just like you can't not expect to blow up or like to even start doing on well. Like you have to click the post button. Like that's the biggest thing is
100%
actually going out and posting.
And
like
it's hard.
Even for yourself of like, oh, I want to make music one day, but it's just like I don't care. Like just post your cover song. I know that you don't have a proper microphone, but like imagine you're scrolling in bed one night and you had someone that from Mexico, you're like, man, that is the most beautiful voice I've ever seen, and it had 7 likes and 90 views. But like, you know, you might send them a message and be like, yo, you're a crazy voice. Like, do you want to work one day?
Exactly.
So opportunities like that might come about. Like, you just never know what's actually going to come. So like anyone watching, I always say, it might be 10 people, it might be 1,000 people. Like, you never know who's watching this episode. But if you're lying in bed, whether it be doing video, making music, even if you love baking, like, bro, go do it. Like, that's one thing I'm just trying to do,
baking.
especially in Ottawa. You like baking? Yeah. Go bake.
Bake
go
for us.
Bake your mama cake right now. But it's just go out and please go do it, because, you know, I feel like both of us sitting here, we could have also not been doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and here we are,
and it is
taking the risk.
I understand, like, honestly, it is so frustrating, and I'm sure you felt this when you spend hours. Let's say in my case, I spent hours on a song. I spend so much money on a song, time, recording, all this stuff. I release the song. I don't know, maybe 20 people listen to it.
Yes, and it is
And I'm like,
the worst thing in the
damn.
world.
And you see that
Not
with,
the worst
like,
thing in the
making
world, but it's
TikToks
just
or
like,
something. 2 likes, 300 views. You're stuck in the
Yeah.
279 views. That's me. And it is so frustrating, and it's so devaluing, and you literally make yourself feel like shit, because you're like, oh my god, you're doing terrible. But you just gotta, honestly, you gotta keep posting, because I
Yep.
started like that, and now I feel like, okay, I still have a long way to go and a lot of things I want to do, but
sure.
I see my growth, and I'm like, wow, the consistency really paid off and gave results.
And that's the thing too. It's just like, I wish we could pan her out to the camera, but like, there's less than 300 people in this park right now. It's like, bro, there's a lot of people in this park. And it's just like, oh, I only got 130 views. I'm like, do you understand? 130 views is a lot of people. And it's just like, it only takes one person of those 130 views to like actually turn into something amazing. So that's,
100%.
if we could tell you guys one thing, just start. I don't care how old you are. So like, just go attempt to do it. But yeah.
There's no deadline. There's no timeline. Don't compare yourself with others. You're on your own path. That's very important too. I feel like that's a big one. This is very motivating.
Yeah. We're trying. That's one thing.
So much advice.
People always ask me, like, what do you want out of, like, what's your end goal? I'm like, bro, I don't even like being on camera. Like, I talked about it a few times. It's like, I agree to this podcast. I agree to this podcast being half asleep. I hated being on camera. Like, when I do vlogs, like, if you're watching on Spinny's channel, anytime I do vlogs, I still don't allow myself to be on camera. Like, people are like, let me film you. I'm like, I don't want to be filmed. But it's one of those things where it's like, I just want to help other people. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, that's what I just want to do. It's just like, I don't care. If I can make money off of it, great. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want the clout. I don't want anything. It's just like, I just want to help other people succeed, and that's all I want.
And you don't have to understand also why you do this. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, why do you sing, or why do you do this or that?
Do you get paid for this? And I'm just like, no, that's like, sometimes people are like, how much are they paying you for this? And I'm like, it's, at the end of the day, it'd be nice to get paid for some of the stuff I do, but it's just like, I don't care.
Well, you
like,
will.
it's, one day I will, and that's the thing where it's like, this is the grind right now that we talked about, so
exactly,
we'll get there one day. But one more question before we wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Who is one person that you want to give your flowers to within the Ottawa community, where like, hey, that person didn't have to do what they did, but thank you for helping me, whether it be a producer, whether it be a photographer, whether it be even your mom, where it's like, hey, mom, thanks for that $100 that you didn't have to give me, or like, who's somebody, or like, damn, you have a big following, why did you talk to me? So one example I give all the time, I'll show them out again always, even though we've always met only twice, is City Fidelia's friend Aiden Sykes. He talked to me in a room full of other people that he could have been talking to, and I just picked his brain for 20 minutes. Then next thing I know, he's like the marketing, I could be getting this wrong, marketing person for Sony artists. And I'm like, oh, you're like a very important name, and you just took time out of your day. So like, that's individuals like me that is just like, damn, I want to be that person one day. Who's somebody that like has gone out of their way to help you, or like they didn't really have to?
There's a couple of people. Can I shout out to?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. The first person I want to shout out is Victor Forrest. He's a sound engineer from Ottawa, producer. He's also an artist. Incredible. And I think I started recording with him in 2017 when we didn't know each other. I found him on like, oh my God, Kijiji.
No,
I haven't heard of that in a while.
For all you kids watching, Kijiji is a place. That's crazy.
And I found him there, and we just like started recording, and he...
perfect example of, unless you put it out... You might. Yeah. He also probably thought, should I put this on Kijiji? This is stupid. He's like, no, I'm gonna do it.
And now he's like my sound engineer, my producer that I work with forever. He comes to all my shows and does like my sound like live. Helps me set up my band. Like, we just have an amazing friendship and relationship. And also, he works with a lot of artists in the Ottawa community. He doesn't care who you are, how much experience you have, how many followers you have, whatever. And this guy goes on tours. He has so much experience. He is so fucking talented. But he literally is like if you're down to work and and not you're talented, even if you have love for this, like let's just work and let's do it. So that's someone who I know, like for the Ottawa community too, means a lot, because he just goes above and beyond for the artists he works with, puts in the extra hours. Like he's not those types of producers too that maybe won't send you your music if you like I don't know, let's say like can't pay right there in that moment, or if they go on vacation or something and they just forget about your mix and they know you have that release coming and they're like, yeah, I'm on vacation, whatever. Yeah. You know, like he'll make sure all his projects are wrapped up. He'll make sure that like you get what you need. He'll make sure that, you know, obviously he's very fair with his time and like also very specific on like how he works, but just a great person overall. So definitely want to shout out Victor. And then the other person I want to shout out is Jasmina. She actually works for, I believe, the city of Ottawa. And she's someone who I met at an event with the Latin community here. She didn't have to help me or anything, but I don't know, I guess we clicked. And she liked my music, and she helped me a lot with putting together my grant. She had a lot of experience in grants, and she helped me put together my application for a grant for the Ontario Arts Council. I had applied like 3 times, never gotten it, and she helped me. She went out of her way on like, I don't know, we would meet, I would show her and just ask her all my questions, and she would give me so much feedback, and she was so great, and I ended up getting that grant thanks to her. So
shout out.
Big shout out.
It's people like that goes a long way, so
yeah.
Thank you to them to helping her out, because
sorry, I was super long, but
that was beautiful.
And my list is long. I could keep going because this city is full of amazing people who will support you, and you don't see that in every city.
No, 100%. That's what we talk about on this podcast a lot, is like Toronto, Montreal, like they have their big community, but like it's not as tight as Ottawa is, tight knit. There's a much more of a family sense of community, what I find here. If you meet someone also in like Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver or whatever, that's from Ottawa, instantly it's like, you have a 613 number? No, 100%. You're like, damn, bro. Like it's like that. It's like a small town city. We're like, oh, I'm also from there, but it's like Ottawa's 1 million people, but it's like, damn. But one final thing before we wrap it up, we have this thing called Put You On. So basically it's getting people, I'm going to say this all the time now, get out of your Barhaven basement. Don't complain that Ottawa's boring while you're singing in your Barhaven basement. It's not boring when we have people like us here. 100%. What is something where they can go do within the city, whether it be an art museum, whether it be rollerblading, whether it be comedy show, music show, where's something that you like to go where it's like, I'm going to put you on, go here. It might be a popular place, or it might not even be somewhere that barely anyone knows. It might be a little land club, little land bar that nobody knows of. I have so many. Can you give me two? No, I'll give you one good one. This place is my hidden gem. It's a karaoke bar, but it's not any karaoke bar. And it's not like you sit in a room with a screen and whatever and order drinks. No. This is like a full-on bar with a stage, a microphone with a stand, and you get to do a full performance. Damn. And when you go here, and this is in Ottawa? Yeah. And it's like in the basement. All kinds of people go. And what's the name of this place? I don't know. Okay, well, she'll text me and then I will send you the name because I don't remember. I just know how to get to it because it was shown to me. It's actually here downtown, really nearby. And it's kind of creepy. You like walk down the basement and there's just people going full out on the stage, like giving full performances. You get to buy beers. Beer is cheap. Drinks are cheap. And it's just a great spot. So that would be my hidden gem. For anyone who is too shy to sing in front of a big crowd, go practice there. So yeah, get out of your Barhaven basement and go there. So we'll link that below. But any last comments before? I thank you so much for coming on. I know that you've been very busy, finished up a media tour, and then I'm like, hey, do you want to do some more media? So thank you for hopping on. I wanted to say thank you to you and the team as well, just for letting me be part of this, for letting me spread a little bit of my message and of what I am and what I do. I'm really grateful. Like I said, when I'm in Ottawa, I'm just grinding. I don't get to do this that often. So this makes me honestly really, really happy. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this podcast is going to go. Appreciate it. We don't know. Literally could go nowhere, but we'll see. We'll see. It'll go far because you're doing it with like the sentiment to really support people, to support the community. It's like you're doing something you don't have to do. Just like the people you were asking me about. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Appreciate it. But this has been Off the Decks podcast. Aiona Santana. Yes. Go check her out. Where could we probably by the time it'll be summertime before this. Is there anything at the end of this year that we could plug before we finish up? That you have anything planned?
Music. Yeah, I have a lot of music coming out. So
beautiful.
Check out the music.
Yeah, Apple Music, Spotify,
yes,
all the platforms.
Aiona Santana, all platforms. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Off the Decks podcast, Vincenzovision, Aiona Santana. We'll see you next time. Thank you.